Hello and welcome back, everybody. DL here, and this is definitely going to be a really nice video that most of you guys probably should start to utilize starting in 2 days, because on the news page, starting in the 2 days, we'll be having double drop Dominion co-op quests. All right. Now, though, I have gotten this question several times, especially on the Winprint guide, about which prints you want to prioritize, and this is going to especially come in handy for when you do have these double drops, which are available for a limited time. Because because unlike High Dragons or Agito double drops, you kind of want everything. But in this case, you definitely have a priority list. So I will be going over options for every single available option for Dominion, with the obvious exception of Surtur, because he has yet to be released. And also, I'll even go over some options for units you can use in co-op rooms that most people are generally accepting. So hopefully you do enjoy this video, and feel free to do all the stuff that support and shenanigans like that. It is very much appreciated if you do end up doing so. So without further ado, let us jump into this. All right. So for the quick breakdown, these are the dates you want to keep in mind when it comes to the 3rd anniversary for the double co-op quests. More than likely, maybe around December, maybe January, we will start to get half stamina variations of these as well. So do bear that in mind. Now, though, as for the stage, you'll be farming only expert. That's far down. Only expert, alright? You do not have to worry about master. Master you can ignore entirely. You can strictly focus on expert and be fine. You obviously do want to mix standard in there as well, because certain prints only drop on standard, while the rest drop on expert. Master does have a higher drop rate, but typically it's much faster to do expert. It's just much less of a hassle, and also you don't have to worry about the elemental restriction in the slightest. You just hop in, maybe 3 minutes, like 5 or 6 maximum, and you're typically fine. Now, though, obviously you will need a little bit of investment, because let me actually switch on over to over here. So honestly, when it comes to these, these are a little bit about the same tier as Agito Master. So pretty much once when you reach that point, you should be fine. Now, though, obviously the first thing you do want to farm, even before you touch the Wimprints, will have to be the Wimprint slots, right? This is going to be incredibly important for every single weapon. I recommend you do this first while you're still gathering up all the Wimprints and the Wimprint materials too. That way, when those become available, you can just go right in and clear them out. Now though, honestly, for me, I still have some to go, actually, especially for my wind. So that's what I'm most definitely going to utilize as well. But as for what do you need for these, you need 50 standard and 30 expert. It's not that bad at all, especially with these double drops. These should be done relatively quickly as long as you're consistent. Now, also, once again, do make sure you do keep in mind it's available. You will have 2 days for this, all right? Obviously, first one will be 1 day, and the other one will arrive 3 days later. So just if you miss the first day, do not stress out all too much. Just keep this priority list in mind. So now let's move into the Wimprints themselves, all right? So this first batch is going to be talking about Lilith right now, and I do have like every single print pulled up here. So this is going to be quite the doozy. So first print on here is a skill damage 20% tied to a Serpent's Boon, which does, and the Serpent Boon will allow Curse Res to be enabled. So obviously, when it comes to these skill damage prints, if they do have a Resistance Boon, these are typically good versus stuff that does not. So definitely make sure you do max out the Serpent's Boon variation of Crown of Light. Try and get like 2, maybe 3 copies, depending on teams, because allowing a unit to have dual res and or having the appropriate res for the event is just a very nice bonus. I do know that Auto Julieta does does utilize a curse res incredibly well. So that is just an example for that. Her beloved Crown Boon, Forbidden Corrosion. You can ignore this one entirely because typically you are not worrying about a Forbidden Corrosion, even though it does increase HP and strength. Just having Creeping Corrosion on at all times really is stressful. So that one you can ignore. I'm actually going to X that one out, actually. And now we have the Sword Boon version, which is the exact same thing. So same situation, you can ignore that. Mask of Desperation Bow Boon. Alright, this has Sword Song. Alright, this is going to be a very, very valuable imprint because of Sword Song allowing stuff with Sword Boon. You just need the one print with the one affinity, and boom, you have that activated. Meaning you will have a bonus 8% strength always active on top of the already existing cap of 20%. So this is a very, very valuable imprint. You want to max this one out as fast as possible. This one should be like one of your first priorities ever. All right, this is a very, very good imprint. Now, as for copies, you can make do with like 3 copies. I would definitely say 3 copies, maybe 4 copies. That's a big maybe. It does depend on the healer for that one, but that's just an option. Especially because this one's Bow Boon, because you can stack this with something else that will be available on a different day. So this one is definitely one print you will want to work up. Then we have the Lance Boon version of the Mask of Determination. This one is crit rate. Now, this one does have its uses. I would say that you can max this one out. This one is still solid on the 4-strike based units because it's crit rate. Crit rate is always good to have available to you. But this isn't as up there on the priority list. So this one you can live without. But I would still say this one should be considered to be at the least maxed out. Maybe one additional copy for 2 copies. Maybe. That choice I'll leave up to you. And this one, we have Tutelari's Destiny, which is Wolf Boon, aka Stun Res, and this is another skill damage. So this is another print that you probably should consider working up 2 to 3 copies. And Stun Res, this is good because this can be used on 2 elements, both being water and fire. So this is also going to be a really solid win print. So this one I would also consider working up and getting several copies for. I'm just organizing a little bit. So just to recap on Lilith, obviously if you want to max out your win print slots on every single one of your weapons, if not your main weapons at the least, then try and get the Sword Song variation of the Mask of Determination, both of these skill damages. And just if you have time, I would recommend the crit rate version that falls under the Lance Boon. That's what I would recommend. Now, then, as for several units that can be used, I'm actually going to go to Knott's notes for this one. That way we can view every single unit. So let's sort this down to light, because that's what everyone will be using. So several options you can use. Gala Yuden is a very good option. He... especially if you do have him mass spiraled, he just becomes a very solid option. You are able to a dragon tank and Nihility, so therefore all of your general buffs do work. You are able to do it. You are able to time it. It's a little bit tricky, but is most definitely possible. I think I've seen Galaluka be used. I think he's also you need to play around with him because of Nihility stuff, but he's still a good unit. Mitsu Hide, Paralysis, very, very good, very solid. Would consider having Gala Audric, the most consistent despeller in the game right out of the gate too. So he's going to be incredibly good because he has Flash Burn, Despells, and very constant skill spamming. He is going to be a great unit for all Lilith stuff. Great DPS option. Farron, I don't know. I can't pull him. Okay, never mind. And I was thinking I could pull I was thinking I could pull up units from this list. I guess I can't. Xiao Jing is actually a decent option, mainly because he is constant defense downs and defense down zones, allowing your other units to do much more DPS. So he's an option as a support and also a 4-star option, just in case if you don't have any other units I do recommend on here. Rizarda is also a very good option. Similar to Galadric, just dispels, but only available after a certain period of time, as well as having flash burns. She is a tank unit, so she's not doing too much on the DPS department, but she's still a pretty good unit for this. If you have Isaac is a very, very strong support unit, makes Lilith an absolute breeze. If you have Isaac, you are doing the entire room a favor when you bring him. He is a fantastic unit for Lilith. I would seriously recommend him. You can bring Summer Shell as well for a constant flash burn supporter. Very, very solid unit. And as for the healer, the best healer for this is going to be Hildegard. She can keep up with a creeping corrosion, as well as just literally having healing flowing out of her. She is a very, very good unit. A budget option you can use is Estelle. Just if you really do like to use healers and you don't own Hildegard, she's a budget option that is still pretty good on healing. You also need to be a little bit more careful because she doesn't have as much healing as Hildegard. Now you could use Zena. A Zenzoic option, and also if you have a spiraled Vixel, he is also an option for this. But however, he needs to be spiraled in order to become really good, because he's also Dispel, he's a poison cleanse, even though I think Lilith curses off of the tip of my head. So he's another option, but just if you have those like really, really good options, those will set you up very, very nicely. So now moving on to the next boss we have here. It will be Jaldy, aka we all call him Jaldy. All right. Now for him, obviously, just immediately, Gallia and Ice. You're gonna see him running around. Just be warned about him. Now going over Prince, we have an Axe Boon of skill damage. Now this is a little bit interesting because Axe Boon. It does look really good, but however, we don't have a psalm for it yet. Surtur could change that, but as it stands right now, I would say you can skip out on this one. You should have enough Lilith stuff, hopefully, to carry you over, and also other prints as well that do have even more reses. So I would say you can skip out on a Night's Dream for Axe Boon. Beneath the Bogs for a Staff Boon, this has Draconic Resurrection. This does have its use in auto comps, but the main reason for this is that you would use it for an additional Staff Boon. Let's say, for example, you have 3. This would be your 4th, allowing your buff time to reach that 15%. So that'd be the only reason this would exist. You don't even need to max it out. But, however, you can most definitely max it out for the once again, the Staff Boon and for the stats. This doesn't have too much usage at all, so I would say just max it out just as a little safety cushion. Now I have the Wolf Moon's version of this print, and it's honestly the same thing. So this won't have too much use, so I would say you can skip out on this one entirely. Savage Hawk. This one's Bow Boon, so this is going to be a Stormlash Punisher of 10%. Alright. This is okay, especially if you do not have the limited version. This can most definitely have some form of usage, but most people use this for the Bow Boon anyway, as an option, just in case if you don't have one. But I would say that you can skip out on this one entirely, especially if once again you do own the limited Stormlash Punisher print. But if you don't, this one can be an option for you. But I would say you can skip out on this one. Now I have the Lance Boon variation. This one is Sword Psalm with Lance Boon. This one, farm up. Max this one out, get 2 or 3 copies. I say 2 or 3 because the Lance Boon is obviously more meant for 4 strikers, so you can probably get away with 2 very easily. So definitely make sure you farm up that one. Now I have Winds of Oath. Eagle Boon will be Skill Haste. Now this one I will say definitely work up, mainly because with Eagle Boon there is already existing a I believe it's a water skill haste print, right? This will go amazingly on a water support unit that has stun res. This will go beautifully with it because not only we get 13% skill haste when not 13, it'll be like 11% skill haste with Eagle's Moon on it. So that is most definitely an option. I definitely recommend asking at least one of those. So yeah, Jaldy, you really have to focus on the Sword Psalm. That's all you really need to focus on. And now, as for units that you can use for this, let me just organize this real quick. Okay, so let's set this to Flame now. I'm just saying this immediately. If you have Gallianitis, you don't have to use anyone else, alright? He is the meta pick for this. Rooms are going to be swarmed with Gallianitis, so just if you own him, you are going to use him here. No ifs, ands, or buts. He is going to be your cheat code for this. He is your cheat code. Now, though, as for other units you can consider, I'm just looking very, very quickly. Obviously, healer. Halloween Lowen is going to be your best case scenario. But just in case if you don't have him, Hildegard works pretty well. And also spiraled up Cassandra because of over damage. She can work as well. Just some options for you guys. And with this, if you don't want to support, Kimono Ellie San does work very, very well. She has a Nihility-proof strength buff, just makes everyone really, really nice and strong. So she's definitely a very, very good option to use as well. And anything else beyond that is a little bit more on the niche side because those are like the meta picks. You can use Galaxy. She is really, really, she has really, really beefy standard attacks. Just really, really good. Summer Meatide is great for burst damage. Can help him amazingly against Agony and just kill him as fast as possible. You can most definitely use her for that reason. And beyond that, everyone else is kind of meh at that point. Just if you like really have no one else, I guess you can use your story unit. Sure, he's a decent option. So that's going to be it for Jaldy. Now we're going to move on to the queen herself, Asura. All right, the tanking queen. All right, so Asura is also going to be dark. We do have recent dark additions, so I will be sure to talk about those when we get to them. But moving on to Prince for her. A Mercenary's Pride, Eagle Boon, that's on the burn res. This one is skill damage. This one, because once again, it's got resistance boon. This one is going to be worth farming. So I definitely recommend maxing this out and like 2, maybe 3 copies of this as well. That's how I recommend. Now we have Bow Boon of Promised. I don't see it petty, but I know that's not how you say petty. So whatever. Alright. But this one is going to be Recovery Potency tied to a Bow Boon. This is going to be really, really handy for healer units that still need that bow print. So I would say max out one of these. This is still going to be really, really nice. Now I have the staff variation, which is buff time. This one is going to be Bow Psalm. This is actually a really, really good win print. This can be used on every single unit, pretty much. This can find its way onto almost every single unit's kit, and this can still pair with the Lilith variation of the Sword Psalm as well. So therefore this print, you're going to want to max this one out immediately and try for 4 copies. This print's really good, worth the 4 copies, but you can make do with 3. You can still easily make do with 3, but 4 copies is probably going to be recommended for this one. This one's a very good one. Moving on, we just to make sure. Yes, all right. I'm making sure that I'm talking about the correct ones. So we have Recital Invitation. It's going to be Bull Boon, and this is also going to be a Skill Haste. Now, though, I don't know exact combinations with Bull Boon, but this can have some decent usage. So I would say probably max out 1 copy of this. because of more Windprints with more boons, they're going to come out in the future, and having these resistance boons on hand is always going to be nice. So I have just one copy of this. Now these two do end up doing the same thing, just a different boon. So more or less, you need to choose one or the other. Now if Broken Punisher were to get a Psalm, this variation is going to be incredibly good, because this can turn any unit into Emity. We've already seen that with Gala Alex versus Legend Cayenne. We've seen speed clears of that, and this type of print is just incredibly broken. All right. Now the Lance Boon, honestly, you can pair with like a Flurry Strength with the Lance Boon incredibly easily, and just get the boon activated. So both of these are options. You really only need one copy of either. So if I had to choose one, I would say for now get the Lance. But however, Axe Boon, just if you still happen to get maxed out too, don't fret. It's still pretty damn solid. So like most of these, just worry about the one copy. But however, focus on the Bow Psalm. This one is a must focus. This one is a must have. This is an incredibly broken Windprint. So now to talk about meta dark units for this. Immediately, Alberius is a very consistent option. Good AoE. Dragons, pretty damn solid. Pretty nice. If you ended up pulling Gala Zethia, you're in luck. She's made for Asura. She literally cheats it. She's an incredibly good unit. Really good. Her stand attacks are beefy. She's able to iframe, well, pretty much iframe purples. Just such a strong unit. Love her. Really great choice. Just if you have Yaten, he can be used too. Just in case if you don't have a good Shadow Sword. I know I have been throwing a Yaten around there, but he is a pretty damn strong unit with his Mana Spiral. So I do recommend him. Just if you have nothing else, he will be worth it. As for other units, let me think really quick. You can use Summer Leonidas as a Shadow Blight bot, but you will need to make sure that Shadow Blight people are on the team. Delphi. If you have Delphi, make sure you are running Poison Res down shared skills, because that will just make him incredibly broken as a poison support unit. Because he can poison a lot. He will hit the max resistance really quickly. So making sure you have those at the ready will make him incredibly good for this. Because he can support incredibly well. You just need to be careful. That's about it. Summer Verica. If you have Summer Verica, a lot of you should have her now. She is recommended for this. She's highly recommended. I'm tapping on her a lot for a reason, because of how recommended she is. If you have her, you can use her incredibly easily. Now then, Gala Shell, she is meta, alright? She was a meta pick before Gala Zethia has arrived. You can hold Force Strike, Shadow Blight whenever needed. She is the definition of you just hold it down and just let everything have consequences, right? She is a really strong unit for this. So she's another really good option. I think that's about it for ultra meta picks. As for like other like little niche picks, I know that Lothna is using auto comps. Maybe she'll have usage. Summer Patia could be another option too. Maybe Joker. Maybe. Just an option. And yeah, I'm not gonna talk anymore because I just know the like ultra meta options for Asura. So there's that. So now moving on to the final boss fight for third Annie right now will be Iblis. All right, you'll be facing Iblis. He is newer. So, and will also, just as a little grain of salt, for me at least, I have not cleared Expert Iblis because I tried day one. I tried day one on co-op, and like everyone was garbage. So I have not cleared yet. I've not attempted since. I probably will start to get in some practice runs before he does release. That way I can make sure I know what he does. But that is just a little bit of salt, and I'll only be going off of what I have heard. So to talk about the Wind Prince now, a Knight's Pride, which is another staff boon. This is going to have Impregnable Fortress. You don't need to worry about this print all too much, I would say. This is only used for like tank builds, but you don't need to worry about tanking all that much. This was used when Iblis was bugged in auto, but that's no longer the case anymore, so you can ignore this. We now have the Sword Boon variation, and this is the same thing. Same thing will apply. We now have Unfreezing Flower, which is Axe Boon, and this is going to be a Lance Psalm print. Now, when it comes to Lance Psalm, it's already set in stone, alright? Like, there's already a really, really good Lance set that can get you up to max and still utilize everything incredibly well. But this could still have usage, alright? So I would say max out one copy of this because once again, still usage variation, and Psalms are typically really, really good prints. But however, 4 strikes, you typically want to main them or just have one on the team. So make sure you max out at least one. You can probably get away with maxing out 2. We have the Deer Boon variation, which is going to be a freeze res. This is tied to skill damage. So make sure you get 2 or 3 of this up and running as well. Because same as everything else, a resistance, and also we're going to have more prints that come out in the future. So surely we'll have a good setup that does utilize a freeze res. Testament of Eternity is going to be a fish boon. I still find saying fish boon absolutely hysterical. And this one is also going to be skill damage at 20%. So same thing applies to this as the Unfreezing Flower. 2 or 3 copies because always going to be solid. And finally we have Treasured Memory of the Sea. It's a butterfly boon and it's tied to skill haste. So same thing. Try one copy of this. Surely it will be pretty solid, I would say. But always we're going to get more prints. Just keep this on the back burner. So yeah, like prints on this one is much more lenient, I would say. But then moving on to what units are recommended for Iblis. So we're going to look over on Wind. So right now, the Wind meta, as far as I know off of the very tip of my head, I know Harl has a Demon Bane. Alright? He's going to be a unit that probably everyone is going to have, everyone's going to try to use. Alright? I don't know how consistent Harl is for Iblis, but surely because of that Demon Bane, he's going to be doing some shenanigans. So he's an option to at the least consider. Ones that people are probably going to end up trying out, especially for this. So he's an option for you guys. As for other options, Galanot is just really fucking strong. So you can most definitely use her. She's mad about everywhere. She will be used. Galaranzel is just a power, alright? Galaranzel is just beefy as hell. So people are definitely going to be using him. They will be relying on other people for all the shenanigans. So just bear that in mind. Just bear it all in mind. Other options. I like using Grimnir a lot. I know that Grimnir was used on day 1 stuff. I don't know how consistent he's become. I'm still going to try to use him. I love him a lot. So take that with a grain of salt, I guess. But I just love him too much, man. I love him too much. Another free option could be Human Midgar. I do know for budget teams he has been used. And he's still not a bad unit. He's still a pretty damn good unit. Like Stormlash, Dragon Haste, a pretty good dragon form. Like he's still pretty strong. So he's also another free option you guys can use as well. To go over healers very quickly. Lowen is a solid option. Akasha is a solid option. But however, Formal Noel is probably going to be your best case. DoorDash, go away. More than she has built-in poison res down, and she does poison. So immediately this is making her the poisoner. Very, very good unit. Very good. I do recommend Formal Noel, but however the other two I've mentioned, those are good options as well. We also have Cecile here. Cecile is also very good for this. She came out with Iblis and stuff like that. She's obviously more geared toward Master, but her doing both afflictions and just holding down Force Strike, managing the mana chew gauge. Jesus Christ, that's a play on words. That'll be a little bit tedious, but however, she's still going to be a pretty damn nice option, just if you did end up summoning for her. Basculus is going to be a great option for this. Actually, he just came out. Great AoE. Playing with his modes very well. He's just a powerhouse of a unit once when he gets his sigil unlocked. He's very good, so I would recommend him. I never recommended a good poisoner yet. I think Louise can work. I think. Even though she does have strength double buff in her kit, I believe the rest of her kit does work just fine. So she could be an option. However, I don't know enough about her. So do bear her with a grain of salt. But I think she's a good option. I think she is. I do know that people use OG Ranzel, but that's more for auto comms. Where is he on here? There it is. I do know he's more on auto comms, but maybe people might sneak him in. Big maybe. And I think that's about it for the like ultra good units. You can probably sneak in a few others in there, and also once again, take Iblis with a grain of salt because I haven't done enough of him yet. Because I mean, like, hey, I'm still working on water slots right now. All right, that's how desperate I am in Iblis. I'm still working on water slots, so bear Iblis with a grain of salt right now. Everything else I've done all the slots for, so I'm fine on that. And on that note, that is going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys did end up enjoying. And also once again, here are the dates, just in case if you guys are going to go ham on this. I do wish you the best of luck. And I'm also going to be farming too, because I'm not done with every single Dominion print, and I'm done maxing a bunch of them. So this is definitely going to be a field day for me as well. So I wish you all the best of luck, and I might even see some of you guys in rooms. Just look out for the name Akamel in your room, and you'll probably end up be playing with me. So until next time, I'll see you all later. Goodbye.